Coming up on Daybreak, it's been a staple in Western PA for many years. Find out what one of Pittsburgh's restaurant chains is doing to add more diversity to their brand.
Coming up on Point News, making the city environmentally friendly has become a primary concern. Find out what Point Park and the city are doing to make where we live a little more green.
This morning on Daybreak, it has been one of the worst flu seasons in recent years. What you can do to make sure you don't get sick.
This morning on Daybreak, we all wonder where the snowplows are, but now there's a way for you to find them with the touch of your finger. Construction throughout the city is working to make Pittsburgh one of the greenest cities in the nation. Find out what Point Park is doing to join the initiative.
Us kittens on the runway. Point News was there as a local organization raises money for a good cause.
Snow and ice covered the city last week. Jillian Belich is here, and she's going to be joining us to let us know how the weather will be better or if it will be worse.
Still to come on Point News, we went from summer-like weather to signs of winter. Your weekend outlook is coming up.
Plus, new features are coming to the local ball field. Find out which one they are and when they're scheduled to arrive when Daybreak returns.
Coming up on Daybreak, plans to replace one of the many crumbling bridges in Pittsburgh. What the city is planning that might give you some headaches.
Plus, imagine for a moment the joy of getting into the college of your dreams and then having it snatched away from you in the dark of night. The whole story is coming up after the break. Plus, the city has a new way of keeping up with your tax dollars. What the city is planning that will give you access to their spending. Coming up after the break.
New reports are surfacing regarding ISIS in Iraq. An Iraqi official has confirmed to CNN that ISIS burned up to 40 people alive near the town of al-Baghdadi in Iraq's massive Anbar province. The victims included police officers and tribesmen, and most of the victims were burned to death. Last week, ISIS seized control of most of the town, which is located just 9 miles north of the Ain al-Assad Air Base. The airbase holds some 400 U.S. military personnel who are stationed to train Iraqi pilots in the fight against ISIS.
And the end came to a story that Pittsburgh and the nation have been following for years. This week, Dr. Robert Fronte was sentenced to life in prison after his first-degree murder conviction in the poisoning death of his wife. Fronte, who was a University of Pittsburgh neurological surgery professor, was accused of poisoning his wife, Dr. Autumn Klein, by lacing her drink with cyanide, ordered through his Pitt research lab. A jury found him guilty in November, and his life in prison sentence comes with no chance of parole.
And there's a new luxury hotel on the block. The 248-room Hotel Monaco opened on Wednesday in the former James Reed building on William Penn Place. The hotel is operated by San Francisco-based Kimpton, whose hotels are renowned for their luxury.
Thanks, guys. Let's start on the ice, where the Pittsburgh Penguins extended their winning streak to 3 games last Wednesday when they defeated the Washington Capitals by a score of 4-3. The game saw the return of defenseman Christian Ehrhoff, who had been out the previous 12 games with a concussion that he suffered in a game January 28th. The game was against the Washington Capitals as well.
Elsewhere in the sports world, Major League Baseball is experimenting with a pitch clock in the minor leagues this season in an attempt to speed up games. Other proposals to speed up games include shortening inning breaks and limiting batters on when they can exit the batter's box throughout plate appearances.
The sound of your car starting is something that many of us take for granted, but when the weather gets cold out like it has been, it can have many negative effects on your car. The trouble could start even before you pull out onto the icy road.
You got a lot of issues with battery related. Batteries are dead because of the cold weather, and you got a lot of starting issues. Cars don't want to start due to maybe starters or alternators going bad.
Evan Riggis has owned his auto shop for 5 years, and during the cold weather, that is when he sees his business spike every year.
Exactly, a lot of business during this cold weather.
And it's not just Evan who experiences an increase in business. During the months of January and February, AAA has responded to over 120,000 calls, with most of them being about battery troubles.
We want to check maintenance before the weather turns cold. We can check the battery and check the alternator for free and let you know how things look.
And all it takes is starting your car just once a day to alleviate some of the negative effects that the cold has. Reporting for Point News, I'm Tyler Jeski. We're here at the Greenfield Bridge, where plans to replace the 92-year-old bridge have been approved. The bridge connects the Greenfield community with Shenley Park, and residents have been worried about it for years.
I mean, they did build a bridge underneath of it, so how safe can it be?
Drivers who use it regularly voiced their concerns to those in charge of the project. They talked about the safety, how long construction would take, and how much it's going to cost them.
80% of the dollars that we're spending on this project are from the federal government that are coming here to Pittsburgh. 15% of the funding is coming from the Commonwealth and only 5% from the cities.
The major focus for the meeting was the detours involved during the construction, because even worse for drivers, the Parkway East will be closed in both directions for 7 days while crews take down the bridge. But project managers hope drivers can concentrate on the finished project, which should look like this.
It'd be helpful to have more lane for riding your bike, walking, or even just driving your car.
The new deck will be 5 feet wider and will include a 10-foot sidewalk on the downtown side of the bridge only. A 5-foot bike lane will replace the sidewalk on the Squirrel Hill Tunnel side of the bridge.
The bridge is set to be demolished in December of this year with a completion date of May of 2017. Reporting for Point News, I'm Tyler Jeski. Construction is never ending here in the city of Pittsburgh as they begin their transition from the steel city of the past to the green city of the future. What was once known as one of the most polluted cities in the U.S. is now one of the most livable cities. Construction and renovation projects are striving to make Pittsburgh one of the greenest cities in the United States. Point Park is also in the process of making their campus more environmentally friendly with the George Roland Wright Performance Center and the new Point Park Playhouse, where construction is set to begin by the end of the year.
We try to incorporate LEED aspects in all of our projects. It is difficult with renovation projects.
The Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, or LEED, is a certification program that recognizes green building strategies and practices. In Pittsburgh, there are 39 LEED certified buildings, including Point Park's George White Performance Center, which is the first university dance studio to earn LEED certification.
A little further downstream, one of the last things we actually did on that project was we put bike racks in the building. That's to encourage, obviously, students and faculty and staff to use bikes as opposed to automobiles and trucks.
Reporting for Point News, I'm Tyler Jeski.
First of all, Nicole, I want to thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. The thing that really strikes me is you're still a grad student, so I just got to ask, tell us a little bit about the book in general and how as a grad student did you reach such a feat?
Well, yes, I am a grad student. I'm in my last semester of graduate school, and I have been writing this book since I was 19, so on and off at least, because with grad school it gets a little hectic. However, the book is about obviously love, sex, and situationships, and situationships are just those situations you're in where you're kind of in between a relationship, not sure what you're doing. And so the book is basically...
Welcome back to Daybreak. Thank you, Rylan, so much for joining us this morning.
Hello.
Hi. First of all, tell me a little bit about the Music Association. What do you guys exactly do here at the school?
So we're kind of a sub-club of the SAM Club, which is the Sports, Arts, and Entertainment Management Club. We more focus on music, everything about it. At our meetings, we talk about local music, some of the concerts that all of our club members have gone to, and we really want to express to them how much it means to be into the music scene, and we try to get them as much opportunities that we can with the name of the Point Park Music Association.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Today we are joined by Hannah Jenkins, a Point Park musician and the first artist to be signed by Pioneer Records.
Hannah, first of all, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I gotta ask, how long have you been writing music and what really got you started?
Well, I've been singing for as long as I can remember. I picked up guitar in high school, mostly to accompany myself singing-wise, and I've always wrote songs, but they almost turned out just